Hello and welcome to another episode of Study of X. I am your host, Tim, and with me as always is Sergio.
Hi, hello. I'm here to talk about Wolverine being inconspicuous and passing without being detected.
Yeah, and Chris.
As everybody knows, one of Wolverine's strengths is being quiet and, not being noticed in a crowd.
Yeah, just a smooth, stealthy mission.
I did not describe what the podcast was this time, so I'm really hoping we had some people tune in for the first time not knowing what this is, because they could be very confused on why we're talking about Wolverine.
That's okay. I'm sure the animal is perhaps actually very stealthy and hard to see in a crowd. I'm not sure. I've never actually seen a Wolverine.
Yeah, I think the disguise works wonders, honestly. It's really, really good.
Yes.
It's very Clark Kent,
Yeah. Anyway, so, we got 2 issues of Wolverine this week, issue 9 and 10, followed by issue 17 of Excalibur. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we'll jump right on in here with Wolverine number 9, Bidding War. This is still written by Benjamin Percy and came out in January of 2021. Shoutouts to the cover of this issue. I actually do really like it. I'm also sure there's probably little Easter eggs in this front issue with all these faces. I'm sure there's some writers and artists in here too. I couldn't tell you if there is or not, but solid guess.
Yeah. So on this very first page, I know they've done this paneling trick before, but I really like this. It's like one still image divided up into like 16 different panels, but just a couple of panels every now and then you'll have a different scene.
Yeah, they're gonna do it a bunch of times this issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think my favorite one is the second page, which is going to be Sabretooth's face. But to set the scene a little bit, we are in the past looking at a mission that Team X was on. This is Wolverine, Maverick, and Sabretooth, who are part of a CIA-funded Black Ops assassin crew, essentially. And it's Wolverine and Maverick waiting for Sabretooth to finally leave this burning building so they can leave.
Yep. If you've been following along, this is picking up from where we left the last episode. So, it's good to have it fresh in the mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And throughout...
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
He seems to be just torturing a guard here. And what Wolverine and Maverick do here is they mercy kill him, and that's kind of their big turning point. Is they killed him a little bit faster than Sabretooth. But this is where they kind of figure out hey, we don't really want to be doing what Victor's doing, where he's just kind of embracing the murder. We need to be better than this.
Yep. There's a mention of having their mind wiped, which seems to be a regular practice.
Yeah.
So there's an element of beyond just giving in to the killing, they're literally being manipulated by the CIA or what have you.
Yeah,
this Black Ops operation is.
It seems to be the CIA. I don't know if it's that explicit, but I think we could probably just call them the CIA here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are getting they go back to base, their minds are wiped, they go out on another mission.
Mm-hmm. And this seems to be just the regular way Team X operates. We even get a data page here of the secret history of Wolverine, where it explains that explicitly, where Team X would mind wipe their operatives, often to ensure complacency, And after a while, once this incident happens, Wolverine and Maverick decide to make a verbal mantra that they can recite to each other to remind themselves of who they are and hopefully bring back what was taken. Because even though these mind wipes do happen, they don't seem to stick for very long. It wears off.
Yeah. It puts them in a hazy state. It's not a complete literal wipe. So they are able to resist some. And the mantra helps.
Yeah.
Do you
And
think that
this-
Secret History of Wolverine is a book that actually exists in universe, or is it like a piece of intel that someone has access to?
Yeah, I don't know. The name's blanked out here. I kind of wonder if this might actually just be like a book someone has. But the fact that like the name's redacted kind of makes me think it like is just a document.
Yeah, because like
Oh.
the Secret History of Wolverine feels like a book that I would be able to go like into the bookstore and pick up. But the
Yeah.
fact that the name is blanked out, makes it feel like it's a piece of intel, but it's not really written as a piece of intel. So I don't know what this is supposed to be.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
going
written.
to choose. Yeah, I'm just going to choose it's a book.
Yeah. And anyway, the mantra is today is a victory over yourself of yesterday. Also, it seems like Wolverine got it from a book. It's the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, which I think it's very funny that even mind-wiped hazy Wolverine is still just kind of a weeb.
Oh, absolutely. It's very funny. It is
It
still
does
such an
say-
innate part of himself.
Yeah, it does say he picked it up like because it seemed familiar. So
Yeah,
that
it's
does
just
make
like,
sense.
oh yeah,
that he would.
samurai.
Hmm.
I-
And that would,
don't-
that would help him like anchor his mind through the mind wipes.
Yeah,
Also, this is an actual book, just to be clear.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an actual quote, but I guess it is. I find no reason why it wouldn't be.
Yeah,
I-
Look it up.
I am guessing this is just a real quote from this book.
I also am. I can't say I've read it. But this is a real book. Came out in 1645, so pretty old one.
Oh yeah, great year for novels.
Absolutely. One of the golden years, one might say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here it
Oh.
is. I found the quote. It is an actual quote.
All right.
Study strategy over the years and achieve the spirit of the warrior. Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser men. Even if you kill an enemy, if it is not based on what you have learned, it is not the true way.
That is some Wolverine ass
Yes.
shit right there.
Yeah.
Like, I am not shocked he was drawn to this book.
No, not at all. I mean, when I ended up looking into it, it's a philosophy, technique, discipline of battle, book written by a samurai, and it's essentially, hey, drop the flourish. You need to just kill someone in a fight because you're there to win. You're not there to look cool. And it's everything around that.
Anyway, back in Madripoor, Patch, our hero Patch. For those who weren't listening to last episode, Patch is Wolverine with an eye patch and a suit. It's a great disguise.
Also shaved. To be fair, he does not have his 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah,
Yep.
we don't have the 5 o'clock shadow, but we still do got the sideburns.
Oh yeah, no, you can't drop those.
Yeah. But yeah, he's being he goes into room 13, which is the room of the auction we get, and we're waved down, just wanded down here by some cowboy looking dudes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, the metal detector does go off on him. His skeleton is covered in metal. But easy enough to wave away that he's had some surgeries. They don't find anything on him despite patting him down. But they do find the little Krakoan organic tech earpiece he was wearing, which the cowboy just kind of picks out of his ear and squishes and flicks off. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, they just Wolverine passes it up his earwax. These two seemingly buy that. Yeah, Sage gets all of one line in this issue before the transponder's discovered.
Yeah, so, I think Beast had a right to be worried about Wolverine going in.
Yeah.
Oh well,
but yeah.
I'm sure it'll be okay.
We've made it to the auction. There's some people here.
There
we know.
certainly are. This is a lovely room. I love the way this place looks. Essentially, Patch here takes an elevator downstairs, and it's this massive ornate room with a crystal chandelier, an open bar, and you just have different current villains and old villains hanging out, waiting for this auction to start.
Yeah. Verendi's here.
Yes, the Hellfire Club kids are here. We have some Cult of X individuals here. The Kingpin is here.
Yeah, Kingpin's just kind of hanging out. Is this our first appearance of Kingpin in this, like, these Crackable runs so far?
I think so.
Yes,
It might be, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know Wilson Fisk, go watch Daredevil. He's Kingpin. I don't know what to tell you. You should know who this character is.
Yeah, pretty good show.
Yes, very good show. Easy recommend right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would think, with the variety and like how colorful people are in this room, Wolverine would blend right in. Not really a case.
No, not the case at all.
Yeah, somehow still sticks out. Thankfully, no one actually clocks him right away. Even despite, some people looking at him funny, we even see Dolores from the X-Desk here as well, and she does not clock him right away. It's not until later when he brings attention to himself that his cover does end up getting blown.
Yeah.
Takes all of 5 minutes.
Yes. Remember, we said he is an excellent spy.
Anyway, the auction's starting, and it's this skinny fella in a cowboy hat by the name of the Merchant. We got some stuff for sale.
Probably one of my favorite little things that has come out of Wolverine so far, besides all of the vampire nonsense, is, of course there would be this underground selling superhero and supervillain tech and just having it at auction. So, you have something like a cyanide tooth of Black Widow, a goblin glider from the Green Goblin, Captain America's cowl, and the gravestone of Spider-Man, which is one heck of a deep cut, but I really like it.
Yeah, it's just...
I want to know, you get to bid on one of these items. Which one is it?
Ooh. Okay. Let me think. Why don't you go first?
Me? I think it's the glider.
I'd go for the cowl. The Captain America cowl.
I was thinking the glider, because that one's really cool, not gonna lie. Goblin glider's really cool.
It's useful.
But I would say probably the most useful, besides that one, are the gloves of Magnetic Man. That one's a pretty useful day-to-day item.
Oh, yeah, like, if you're going for use, then yeah, the gloves of Magnetic Man are probably just, like, a good-ass, like, Fortnite item here. But, like,
God.
Yeah, I don't...
That'll be in the next crossover season, don't worry.
Yeah, there you go. But, as far as, like, aesthetic goes, like, yeah, I'd want to have the Captain America cowl displayed.
Cool, yeah.
I would not go for the gravestone of Spider-Man. That's just too big. That's too heavy. How am I supposed to get that home?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if I had one of those really disgusting, billionaire mansions that are just gross and have a lot of space, then I would get that.
Also, I think the cyanide tooth is gross. I don't want the cyanide. I don't want the tooth.
Yeah, that one's also really gross, and I feel like whoever bids on that is just innately creepy.
Yeah, what do you do with a cyanide tooth other than... I guess it's a collector's item.
I'm not really interested in Jigsaw's serial killer painting either. Like, I'm just not into that. But we get to our main event here. It's the severed hand of Wolverine. Wolverine's upset, cracks a glass. Dolores instantly clocks him.
It's so funny. He just had to restrain himself just a little bit, and it didn't happen. Nobody saw through the eye patch. That's what gets me. It's just an eye patch. He is a short, angry man.
Yeah, it's funny because you might think, like, just smashing the glass might be inconspicuous enough where no one really notices, but Dolores notices. Kingpin instantly just turns around and offers him a handkerchief to clean the blood off of his hand. Like, if people weren't suspicious, they are now.
Yeah, I do like Kingpin being the gentleman here and just handing him a handkerchief. I do think that's funny. But to explain how Dolores clocks Logan, her glasses seem to be those really cool Google Smart glasses, and immediately just detects that, hey, that is Logan's face. His face matches Wolverine's.
Yeah, that's our boy.
Oops.
That's just him.
Yeah. But actually, our real prize commodity here is Maverick. Mind-wiped Maverick. Just, you get your own personal little Team X member.
Dun dun dun. Hey, remember that tease in the last issue where apparently the Burks stole a Hydra mind wipe device? Huh.
Yep.
Huh. Who would have thought?
He has his little assistant here who is named Billy Joe. This whole thing is very like it's a crazy underground auction, but the merchant and all of the henchmen here are very like your like old Southern auction coded, which
very Texas coded specifically.
Yeah, it's a very specific vibe, which I do appreciate. I think it meshes kind of interestingly with the criminal underworld vibe that they got going on as well. But yeah, Billy Joe probably needs to find a new job. Throws a punch at Maverick just to demonstrate, and just instantly gets his arm broken and like thrown onto the ground and stabbed through the shoulder.
Yeah,
Yep.
and all while this is happening, you get all of these bid numbers in front of everybody as like a digital indicator how high we're going here, and we're getting close to $200 million. And as this elderly gentleman is going to explain, Maverick is not only a highly trained assassin and is going to be your personal tool, but is also a mutant and therefore your keys into Krakoa, which is probably one of the bigger selling points too for this guy.
Yeah. Anyway, so right as all this is kind of everybody's taking this in, somebody whispers in the merchant's ear, and he's like, "Oh, is that right? We got a guest tonight. We got someone else, a surprise auction here. Wolverine's here." And it becomes very apparent how many people actually knew at this point, which I think is very funny. The cult of X people just start bowing. You see Kingpin just smirking.
Mm-hmm. Dolores is there, like, oh, okay. And then all of the other Texas goons come in to take down Wolverine.
Yeah. My favorite part of Kingpin in this issue is I don't think he actually gets a line. It's just Kingpin's here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets to be smug.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he needs.
But yeah, we are immediately fighting. Wolverine's under attack. And the merchant uses the magnetic gloves to capture Wolverine.
Who would have thought, the guy with metal on his bones would be susceptible to magnetism again?
Yeah. We get a flashback now to the Team X stuff of him just getting mind wiped. And yeah, it's him just really struggling to hold on to something and being reminded by Maverick of who he is still. He's, just bloody and bleeding, and he's like, "Listen to me," and just gives him the mantra, and that's enough to really like snap Wolverine kind of out of it here. And it's a pretty effective job of showing like what Maverick kind of means to Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. As well as just very cleanly playing into how Wolverine is going to get out of this, because in the present time, he's going to say the mantra again, telling Maverick to snap out of it, who does, grabs the auctioneer here, holds a gun to his head, and is like, "I don't really know what's going on, but I will trust you, Logan."
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this transition between the past and the present is pretty cool. Like the present Logan finishing the mantra that starts in the past is a cool transition. Something that would be easier, I feel, to pull off like in an animated format, but it works just as well on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very good use of that same trick that we saw at the start.
Yeah.
That is the end of this first issue of Wolverine. Something to mention also, we kind of skipped over it because it's very hard to talk about in the moment when it comes to these Wolverine comics, is all of Logan's internal dialogue that he has going on. For instance, for this issue, especially once you start getting to his severed hand, it's him mentioning how he does not remember anything. How could he lose a part of his body and not remember that? And then also discussing how there's all these people here spending millions of dollars on parts of the past when he does not have a piece of the past that he feels like he needs to cling to.
Yeah, the hand thing is very interesting because it's like you as an audience person do know, like, yeah, he could have just lost a hand just doing whatever. There's been so many issues just in the Krakoa era alone where they possibly could have got that from. Like, he regenerates. That's kind of his thing.
Mm-hmm. And now with Resurrection, Logan dying and coming back is not that big of a deal. But it is emotionally. That aspect of it I can understand.
Yeah. Because, I do think that's interesting. It's like, where did they get that hand? And the answer truly can be we don't know. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, it could be one of a dozen or more instances.
We end this issue off with just like a little Wolverine quote about Maverick, just kind of describing him who he is. He calls him a bastard, but the best kind of bastard. You can't trust him with your wife, but you can trust him with your life. But yeah, just a good person to have in a fight will steal your girl.
Yeah, and I feel like that in and of itself kind of gives me a very good view on Maverick, and we're going to get a better one also in this next issue. But remind me when we're done with issue number 10, because there's a key overarching plot discussion going on here that I think kind of falls apart once we get to the end, but I will get to it once we get through number 10, because that's where it's going to really show up.
Sure.
All right.
I think the funniest thing about this issue is what's the name of the assistant that gets his arm broken?
Billy Joe.
Billy Joe. He doesn't really need to do anything. The numbers were already like going up.
Yeah.
I like how the auctioneer goes. We need to make a demonstration, but that's not really needed. All of the numbers were going up anyway, so he gets his arm broken for nothing. I think that's pretty funny.
As you do.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's
Really
going to get
needs a
workers'
better
comp?
job.
No.
No way.
I also don't think he's going to get workers' comp. Maybe a bonus, but even then.
Oh, I bet he gets fired.
Oh, yeah.
Here's your severance package of broken arm.
Here's a sling. That's all you're getting.
Yeah. Anyway, issue 10 here is Mercenaries. Let's go into this one.
Yep. Came out a month later, so came out in February of 2021. I hope it doesn't surprise everyone that Benjamin Percy is still writing. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, not me.
Okay, but we jump back in right where number 9 ended, where Wolverine is just very quickly catching Maverick up about what's going on. There's an auction. They messed with your head. Just listen to me and we'll get out of here.
Uh-huh. In the middle of a standoff with like 10 other people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely more.
Yeah. It seems like they're handling it pretty well. They say, all right, hey, everybody's alive. We'll stay that way, but you got to take off those magnetic gloves. And he's like, all right, cool. I got it. But then pulls out a very tiny gun. It's the pistol that once belonged to Frank Castle, apparently, and shoots Maverick in the mask with it, which is enough to get him to let him go.
Yeah, and then also says he has a dagger from Elektra in his boot, which I think is very funny.
Yeah.
So, but Maverick is fine. It shot him in the mask. He's okay. And the two go on a just massive murder spree. And I'm talking massive. There's this nice double page fighting here of them on the stage, just either stabbing people or shooting them and tossing them off the stage. The laws of Krakoa do not apply.
Yeah, this two-page spread is gorgeous. It's just
it's great looking.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty. It gives you a really good sense of the action, just cutting in these very small rectangles of close-up shots.
I love all the stuff on the floor. I think that's like what really like brings it home. It's just like you got like all these like overturned bar stools, the glasses of wine that are just like thrown around. There's like books. You see some bodies. Like it feels very dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fair for like what is happening.
The way it depicts the scale of the room with like a bunch of faceless goons just running from all sides is fantastic.
Yeah.
I also love all of these like 20s mafia goons.
Yes.
Yeah, it's they're great looking.
They're all wearing the hats. They're like the suits. It's funny.
Merchant takes aim with the gun, but gets zapped by Dolores in a wheelchair, who just simply remarks she'll take this and picks up Wolverine's gun. Or Wolverine's hand, I mean. Right. And a bunch of X-Desk guys just storm in.
Yes.
Yeah, these are the Men in Black.
Yes, the other type of faceless goons.
We just say acquire the mutant targets, and we got we got a third party going on here.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It is. It's very funny in kind of almost a Saturday morning cartoon kind of way. So now the CIA is here and they're fighting with the Texan boys. The mutants are still trying to fight their way out and say, you know what? They're having fun. Let's go while they're busy.
Yeah.
They literally exit stage right.
Yes.
Yeah, they just get out of here. Dolores says we're not going to waste American tax dollars on bidding anymore. We're smash and grabbing, get those mutants. And yeah, they managed to get out. We got a nice looking view of the riverside here of Madripoor or Oceanside. I'm not really sure. Some kind of dock.
Yeah.
Where is Madripoor located again?
Yeah, probably in the ocean. Or near an ocean.
Oh gosh, I know where it is. Hold on. I want to double check I'm getting the right place.
Is it like vaguely Asian located?
Yeah, Southeast Asia. In the south of Indonesia's Strait of Malacca. I probably said that wrong. That's where it is. So it's southwest of Singapore.
All this time I guess I've been conflating Madripoor with Madrid. So I thought it was like an West European country, but I guess it's not.
No, it is it's a very different place.
This panel with a very Asian-looking market makes it very evident that I was wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a market scene.
Again,
Wolverine.
Very pretty.
I love how Wolverine throws the skewers onto through people's heads.
Yes. So Wolverine is going to remark here that, hey, the CIA is not going to risk a diplomatic incident by chasing them above ground, he says as the faceless goons round the corner and he sees them.
Yeah, it's Madripoor. We don't really got to worry about all that here, so we're just going to chase them down anyway. But Wolverine remarks, okay, we can make it to the Krakoan gates. They're not too far away from here. And Maverick is like, no. Not interested in that. We're not going to Krakoa. I got my own dudes. And a helicopter shows up with some ropes that get thrown down. It's the Mercs.
They fly away as Dolores watches on.
Yeah.
Yep, holding or cradling, really, not even holding Wolverine's severed arm.
Yeah. And we get a data page here of the CIA phone log with Ramirez talking to the director.
Yes, an unspecified director of how she messed up pretty badly. It was supposed to be a fairly easy operation of just spending a lot of money to get what seemed to be Maverick, and instead possibly creating an international incident by trying to shoot it to mutants in the open.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. She's got another plan. It'll be fine.
It's Madripoor. It's chill. She has another plan here. If we couldn't really get the transaction. We couldn't really buy Maverick, but maybe we could still do business with him, which I think is the implication here. And ask if the auction funds are still available. And that's the end of the phone call.
Mm-hmm. Instead, we cut back to Logan and the boys as they fly out into the middle of the ocean where the Mercs have their moving sea base, it seems. And
it's a submarine.
It is. It is a submarine. It's a very big submarine, though.
Yeah.
But Maverick is basically going to fully launch into a recruitment spiel for Wolverine, saying, hey, we could be like our own days, without answering to a government or a Professor X or anybody. Just do what we want to do.
Yeah. And yeah, he's like, hey, don't you want to, I got a good thing going here. It's just me and the boys. We're drinking beers. We're having a good time. Just doing missions. And like, don't you want to hang out here instead of in that cult?
Yep, in that Kool-Aid drinking cult. And Wolverine doesn't even have to say anything. And Maverick's like, ugh, you do believe in that. Gross.
Yeah. But yeah, Wolverine is like, okay, I should be going. You're good. And he's like, all right, just do one job with me,
Yeah, just one. Just like old times.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Cut to outside Houston, and they are parachuting into looks like a mansion.
Yep, I would assume it is the mansion of that auctioneer, which would fit with him looking so very Texan. But they are here to take back and or burn all of the other stuff that Maverick has stolen for this gentleman in the Legacy House. And oh boy, do they, because when they break in, you have boxes full of X-Men stuff. AIM, Hydra, S.H.I.E.L.D., the Avengers. There's Sentinel heads. I see a Nimrod.
Yeah, there's a Nimrod here.
There's a MODOK bodysuit.
Yeah.
There's just a ton of stuff in this warehouse.
It looks like the armor of Onslaught is here. Like, yeah, it's
which doesn't even make sense, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun panel. Lots of references.
Yeah. But yeah, Wolverine kind of laments here about just not really having these memories, not really understanding, like, owning all this. Just kind of concludes, like, yeah, whatever. Let's let it burn. Burns the Team X stuff as well.
Yeah, he does hesitate for a moment, saying he could take some of this and remember some of his past, but does come to the conclusion of, no, I'm going to leave that in the past and look towards the future. This new future and hope that is Krakoa.
Yeah. We get an X Factor logbook here about Wolverine requesting a review of his resurrection log. He wants to figure out what the heck is going on with his hand.
Yes, and this does mention, like, hey, it could be if there's an anomaly, maybe it's a Weapon X clone, an experiment by Xeno. And that reminds me, I forgot to call out, in that big shot of everybody in that auction room, there is the man with the peacock tattoo. He's not really a focus, but he's there.
Oh, I didn't even notice him.
Yeah, he's in the background of one of them. He's very hidden. So, but they're looking into it. Someone's trying to figure out where it came from.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, we did bring Maverick to Krakoa here, probably just a way to kind of get from point A to point B pretty fast. And Maverick just kind of remarks like, oh yeah, it's not bad. And Wolverine kind of gives him the pitch for Krakoa.
Mm-hmm. And is like, hey, for so long we've been citizens of nowhere. We haven't had a home, a place where we can be ourselves, and now we finally do. We have Krakoa. Things aren't perfect, but they're better than what we used to, and we could try something new. How about it?
Yeah. And he remarks we can make you kind of how you were before, and he just says, I'm not super interested in that. I'm not really interested in the past, and it's kind of very similar to Wolverine here, but just in kind of a different way. He likes who he is currently, has a good thing going, or something that at least he likes going, and he wants to continue that. And he leaves with just parting words to Logan here of Wolverine asked him, like, you can find me if you change your mind. Maverick says, all right, the same goes for you. And yeah, they part, just two dudes kind of just doing their own thing. All right, and then we flash to New York here, as it seems like it's Dolores having a conversation with somebody. Somebody
without his helmet on, as this is Maverick meeting her at a coffee shop.
Yeah. And it looks like we're going to be doing some business here. Mm-hmm. She wants to discuss his loyalty. And the waiter comes over, asks him, do you need some time to decide? And he just remarks, I think I made up my mind, as we end the issue.
Yeah.
The way Dolores speaking is depicted makes me think like she might be manipulated by something, or I feel it might be hinting towards something. That's my kind of cold shot.
It's interesting because it actually, I feel like, isn't so far away of a depiction of her as we got in the one time when we saw her in Marauders. As far as her just trying to put on a face. But also, I honestly don't know. It feels like very different from Data Page Dolores.
It does. And that's an aspect of that I really don't like. I liked the really excited government worker who was trying to figure out this whole mutant thing and just didn't have anybody to help her out. Not that, but also I'm ready to kill them too.
Yeah, look, sometimes you gotta take out some mutants. It's okay, they'll come back.
I mean, I guess. It's just a bummer. Not what I wanted from her.
Yarring, yeah. It's a bit of a departure from how she was depicted before.
Yeah, and I can see why, two very different writers were going for very different things, but still a bummer to see her handed off in this way.
Yeah. What were you gonna bring up about these two issues before, Chris?
So there's a good chunk of this issue once we get to that warehouse where Wolverine is going to be having his internal dialogue about how, he doesn't see a reason to cling to the past, and he kind of understands why people do it, and when given the option to do that himself, decides not to and instead just moves on. Which, on one hand, I do really like, because I do feel like that is a good progression for the character. The problem is, so far, the rest of the world is not letting him do it. So it feels almost hollow in a way. Like, we just celebrated the 350th issue of Wolverine by bringing back Maverick and having him show up and remind Wolverine of his entire past. And Wolverine has not let that go in any other issue, either here or in X-Force, where it's either his history with Sabretooth, his history with Omega Red, his history with the Vampire Nation, and so on. He is trying to now work for that hopeful future that Krakoa represents, but this whole speech he has going on of, I'm gonna move on from my past and not let it, dog at me, it doesn't fit with everything else. It kind of fits it feels like it was written just for this story without being a more serious aspect to his character.
I think there is a difference between your past as it relates to yourself and a past as it relates to others. Like, it doesn't just, mean what happened between them doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because kind of what he's getting at when he's talking about, wanting to move on from the past is, he doesn't want to be that Team X guy anymore. He wants to do something different. But it doesn't mean that Maverick isn't someone who was pretty important to him in those days still. Or Sabretooth isn't still someone he thinks is a monster. So in that aspect, I kind of see what they're going for here.
I think for me it comes out the other side feeling very human, in the sense that, sometimes you're broody and you live in the past, and that's kind of Wolverine's whole thing, especially this specific series and his appearances in X-Force, again, as Chris said, have been very past focused. And, sometimes you feel like moving on, and sometimes you feel like lighting things on fire that may relate to your past. And then you come to regret that, or there are things that do trigger you in a way where you're more moody about it, or not willing to let go. I feel like that sort of inconsistency may be a result of different writers or different teams in general, but in the end comes across as very human, as you react to different triggers that remind you of your past trauma in different ways, depending on the context upon which they show up, which does make it doesn't feel so much as an inconsistency to me as just a quirk of who he is as a person.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair, And this is also me saying all of this because it kind of crystallized with this issue. But I do hope going forward that is something that Wolverine can stick to, of him just trying to work and focus on the future, and maybe it is his past that's trying to drag him back into that brooding self. And it's his, combat against that. We'll see what happens. I just don't feel currently as if that's what's going to happen, just based on X-Force and Wolverine so far.
Yeah, there's definitely an interesting aspect of it, because it very much is like he's has his past kind of gnawing at him, which is just that's Wolverine, baby. But there is this sense of optimism to these books, in the sense of looking toward the future, where I don't think he's just brooding here, which is an interesting aspect of the character. I think there is a want and desire from Wolverine to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And to move on from this, and I don't know. It's interesting. I enjoyed these issues.
Yeah, and in a way, I feel like this is not just Wolverine's thing. It's kind of like Krakoa's thing, like trying to move past the past, and being shackled by things that happened before. Everything, there's a lot of stuff that we have covered that is very much about people escaping who they were and having this new opportunity to be a new someone. That feels like a very central theme to Krakoa as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Wolverine just feels like especially a victim of that because he's had like an uncountable number of past lives, basically, or
Yeah, it's
sections of his life that have been like severed from his memory.
yeah. And speaking of a little bit of past stuff here, do you want to go into Excalibur?
Hey, good segue.
Yeah.
As we head into some just old-fashioned racism.
Yeah, we are. So for Excalibur number 17, its title is QE3, which I'm pretty sure stands for Queen Elizabeth III. This is written by Teenie Howard and came out in January of 2020. And we're going to open up here in London with one of the most anti-mutant racist men in the universe, with Robin Brosseau. He is from Coven Akaba, if you remember them. It has been a minute.
I think it's Ruben.
Ruben?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I don't even mind the racism. I think the most pathetic a person can be is a British nationalist. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look, you're not even in power anymore.
Imagine like being in a like wearing like a cape, being in something called Coven Akaba, and just being like real into England nationalism. Like that's so lame.
Mm-hmm. And being like, hey, my family traces back our lineage so far in wizardry and magic, you don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The English identity has just lost some value over the years, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
I also love the Ewirat t-shirt, soccer tee.
Yeah. No, Pete Wisdom just here with Peter Wisdom, I should say, with his just feet propped up on the desk, eating something called Pops with this soccer jersey in the background framed, is just the most British looking office.
I love the cracked mug that says for 10 years of service.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good set dressing.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So these two very British individuals are having a bit of a spat as Ruben over here is saying like, hey, Betsy's missing.
Where's Betsy at?
She's Captain Britain. She's supposed to speak for the British people. We've heard rumors on that disgusting little island of Krakoa that something may have happened to her. And her rightful heir, her brother Brian, who should be Captain Britain, is also not here. You're a mutant. You should know what's going on. What's going on?
No. He's Witchbreed. You're both Witchbreed. You know where she is, right?
Right. I forgot they have a different name for their racism.
Yeah. Ruben here shows them pictures of the captains Jubilee, Richter, Rogue, and Gambit, and he's very upset. They aren't even British. What are they doing?
What are they doing wearing the British colors? How dare they?
Yeah.
These are like Hollywood headshots.
They are.
Yeah.
They're very nice. Also,
quality pictures.
Very curious how they got them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Ruben says go find Captain Britain. And he's like, okay, fine. Also, just this last line here. Understand that while we welcome your kind, certain traditions are for humans. It's just like, dude, like.
Just the subtext isn't even subtext anymore. It's just right there.
Yeah. But yeah, Pete says, yeah, I'll go find her. And Ruben remarks, did I offend you? And he's just like, no, I just want to have a pint before I go to the Tiki Torch Island. And yeah, we get a data page here. In case of omniversal trouble, there is a note from Captain Britain to, probably another Captain Britain from Elizabeth III, saying, if you're reading this, there's been some dimension shenanigans. Yeah, I'm the queen here. Things are going pretty well, but like our enemies, if they figure out something has gone wrong, also it's Britain apparently in this universe, just a safe haven for mutants. But if their enemies figure out something's gone wrong, they're gonna come try to attack. So don't do that. Don't look around too much. Just get to the lighthouse and get out.
Don't you love it when you have your Deus Ex Machina note right at the start of your story to get things kicked off.
Yeah, we immediately flash to Betsy reading this note. And yeah, apparently in this reality, she is Queen Betsy, and her double that she managed to switch places with had the foresight to just write a note in case something like this happened.
Almost. It was Prime Minister Peter Wisdom that said that this note should be written.
Yeah.
But it is a very specific note for this specific instance.
Yeah. Just in case.
Which I think is very funny. I know... how do I put this? I was about to say, I know things like this exist, but body swapping does not exist. What I mean is, having a government official have rules in place for if different situations happen makes sense. This one is just so specific to the story that it becomes ridiculous.
I guess if you are a Betsy, you know, as a Braddock, some weird parallel universe stuff just happens sometimes. Just some weird switcheroo stuff just could happen. You never know.
Yeah, like, that aspect of it, I'm like, that makes sense, you know? Like, if Cyclops had to think of a plan of what if Magneto and Sabretooth teamed up, what would we do to stop them? That, you know, that's reasonable. It's
that's just the thing that happens often in your life.
I don't know, just the way this one is presented and written is just so written for the story and not written for an in case of emergency thing that I can't quite get over that fact.
Maybe she had some sort of heads up. Maybe she was a special Betsy that knew beforehand that this might happen.
Yeah. I mean, again, I feel like if you're a Braddock, like, you just have to assume some weird parallel universe stuff will happen at some point in my life. I gotta prepare for that.
Maybe it's happened before.
Yeah.
I guess. It's just... It's so odd. Also, I would not want to leave this reality because it seems like it's way better than her other one, where England hates all mutants forever.
Yeah. This is mutant land England here. Things are going well. Also, Angel is just her boy toy, I think.
Yes, very, very clearly. We would get married, but I'm American and you are the Queen of England, so clearly we can't do that. Very clearly riffing on the royal family drama of the time that this was written, you know, all of that, I think. Gosh, what is it? Princess Kate stuff? I'm not royal family knowledgeable, so I don't know. I just know that this was a drama center in our world.
Yeah, this tracks. I wouldn't know, but it tracks.
Yeah, I go out of my way to avoid anything about the royal family. Like, I just am so uninterested in that. But yeah, Betsy's, the public has turned up because, they have been told the queen is sick, so everybody is just outside holding get well soon signs.
Man, that must be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and Betsy realizes, like, she is very well liked.
I should, that won't make me think about my own issues and problems. I should probably go home.
Yeah, she is very clearly just having some feelings here of inadequacy, I would say. It just doesn't seem like she feels inferior to this Betsy. She gets a little starlight thing in her coffee cup, or teacup, I mean. And, yeah, the instructions are clear. She's going to go to the lighthouse. Yep.
She would travel back any other way, but she does not have an amulet, she does not have a sword, so that's the only path out.
Yeah. Angel remarks, you're probably gonna need an escort. And she's like, you? And he's like, nope. I got someone, though.
my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Quentin.
What a great way to get her into this. I actually really liked this twist of, oh yeah, here she is. We're gonna make this even more awkward for you, Betsy.
Yeah. Anyway, back on Krakoa, Jubilee, Gambit, and Richter, and I assume Rogue as well, are moving into the lighthouse. We're trying to.
And on their way to moving all of their things, they run into Pete Wisdom, who is very much trying to hurry and get along with this so he can find Betsy.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I did not realize this was Krakoa. Where is this supposed to be?
I think it's around where the portal to Otherworld is, actually.
Why does it look like they're in the depths of hell?
I know.
I don't know.
It's like vague crystals and everything. I was actually thinking about it the other day because when we reread the start of the Krakoan era, there was something shown off that I've totally forgot about because it doesn't really show up again, which is when they showed off the Krakoan gates for the first time. They were like, yeah, if you go through this gate, it leads you to a nexus where there are many other gates you can choose from. And I assume maybe this is that nexus. So you don't go through a gate and you leave in, wherever you're heading. You actually go to the nexus point and then you go to a different gate.
I feel like we've seen this before. Like, recently even.
Probably here in Excalibur, because I feel like this is a very Amber Rock kind of thing, is their kind of shtick.
No, I meant the
Nexus
thing you just described. Yeah.
If we have, I don't
God,
recall.
I would have to. Yeah.
Because I feel like that was the
else.
only time we saw it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, they're in Weird Orange Land.
Mm-hmm.
On their way to the lighthouse.
Yep, and Pete kind of gives them the lowdown of, hey, Coven Akaba is pretty much spreading around that Betsy is not fit for rule because they are really racist and they hate us. And her being gone actually kind of feeds into that, so where is she?
Yeah, and also they're probably going to show up at the lighthouse pretty soon, and you're going to need to, fight them over that. So, yeah, he's trying to track him down. Mentions, yeah, Brian was around. We wouldn't even be talking about this. They'd just say he's Captain Britain and move on. And Gambit's like, yeah, that's why he's not around.
This is on purpose.
And, yeah, they prod why they think they're going to the lighthouse, and they're like, well, when the dude came over, I noticed Mariana Stern wasn't there. Assuming they're going to the lighthouse. Anyway, someone shows up and offers Pete a flower necklace.
And it's like, hey, the gates told us that this is your first time to Krakoa. Welcome. And Pete's like, hey, fuck off.
Yeah.
And just walks away. I also really like that this kid is just pink anole.
Yeah,
complete with the weird other arm, too.
I hope they did this to Maverick.
Ooh, I hope so, too. I bet Maverick would have worn it.
Yeah.
I hope this kid's mutant power is making rats, like the flower rats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. Be like, yeah, this is my power. I can make flower wreaths. Here you go. That's a lovely power. I actually really do hope that's true. It's probably not, but I want it to be.
We get a data page here about the King James III Memorial Intelligence Center, otherwise known as the Lighthouse. In this reality, the parallel one where Betsy is queen, it's not a lighthouse. It was the Braddock family lighthouse, but they tore it down and turned it into an intelligence center.
Yep.
That's
a smart move.
what it is.
A very smart move. I don't hate this. This is a good idea, even if it just is here to serve the plot.
Yeah. Betsy and Quanon are getting near the drop point, and yeah, we're going in. We're gonna go
by the way, Betsy is making this as awkward as humanly possible.
Yeah.
It's incredible how she got very clear instructions not to engage too much with people and try to probe into their lives, and that's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, she's just like, so did you
as
ever...
hard as possible.
Were you always in this body?
Yeah, it's... we kind of discussed this actually pretty early on. I know, Sergio, you had questioned this when we introduced the difference between Quanon and Betsy and their very difficult past relationship and what had gone on there. And this is their first time kind of broaching it. And I kind of like how they did it, which is Betsy being very uncomfortable and unsure how to actually do it. And she's not even telling this to the Quanon that she hurt. She's telling this to a different reality's Quanon. And that's how she's able to get it out.
That's where it does not work for me. Because this is like Betsy being a coward and doing a trial run and still fucking it up. Not a fan.
See, and that's kind of where I'm okay with it, because it seems more human, I guess. she does clearly realize by the end of this she does need to say, I'm sorry for what I did. And she clearly has not said that to her Quanon, but it seems like
get
that's
back
something...
to me when she does.
Yeah, no, this is also this needs to lead into her doing it to the one she hurt, but if this is the start of that, I'm kind of okay with it.
Meanwhile, back near the lighthouse, the wizards are here.
Who would have thought? And they even have a wrecking ball with them this time.
Yeah, we are tearing down...
What's the plan again? Why are they tearing down this tower?
We just need this magic point for some reason. The mutants take exception to this, try to fight back. Mariana replies, all you know is violence as we take a wrecking ball to your home.
Right. Again, shout outs to the artist and colorist. Whenever Richter does his powers, everything gets tinted green, and I still love it every time it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richter remarks the druids aren't going to take this lightly, and it's Mariana just hits him with the druids aren't here, and ends up just wrapped in some kind of yellow tentacles.
Mm-hmm. As everyone else stands there going, wow, we should really do a team thing and help him out.
Yeah. Things don't be looking too good.
Nope.
Meanwhile, back in the lighthouse, in the other reality, Psylocke says she will answer 3 questions and just says make them good.
Yes, and they are, to be fair, I do like some of these questions. The first one is, does Krakoa exist here? And Quanon says, yes, but it's just an old island. So, not a island paradise. 2, Brian Braddock is the head of the Britain space program. Kind of cool, I guess. And then the third one, which is, have you always lived in your body? Which is excuse me, what?
Yeah. Also, this little question and answer thing goes amidst them doing little secret spy break-in, quietly stealth mission stuff, which is pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they have to break in again?
I'm guessing they don't want anybody to know that this is happening at all.
Yeah, that is my assumption as well, and just knocking people out will make it easier for folks to not know.
Yeah, because if Betsy, the queen, shows up here, the question is, okay, why? So instead we just go stealth mode on this.
Not so stealth mode, actually.
Yeah.
Like, wonder what the hell happened. Why is everyone knocked out?
Yeah. But again, they probably won't assume the queen did it. So they got that going for them.
I like Quanon being fed up with Betsy and just pushing her into the light.
Yeah.
So,
I am too. Just stop standing there and trying to apologize to me for something that you didn't do to me. Also, I can read your mind, and I know you wore my skin, and that's kind of messed up. Would you just leave?
Yeah. She's very not interested in this conversation anymore. She just tells her, like, get out of here. Like, I don't care about the details. I don't know what you did. It seems terrible, though. Like, leave.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this went very poorly for Betsy. And again, I think she kind of had it coming. This isn't your Quanon. What are you doing?
Yeah. So I think it's okay, but I also understand doing this and saying like, hey, you should not be telling this to a random one. This should kind of shock you into being like, hey, talk to the person that you need to talk to. Maybe don't trauma dump on her.
Yeah. But yeah, the Excalibur is trying to hold off the wizards here. Pete remarks we need to retreat, and also just throws out, we don't have Apocalypse here to just like wrap this up and do the heavy lifting. He tells Excalibur they can't be carried anymore, which is just a little brutal. But before they can really think about retreating, lighthouse stuff starts going on. We get some crazy purple light thing, and Betsy's back.
Woo, but she's back in the water because she teleported just, kind of off base a little bit. And she's wearing like a really cool white gown. It's very nice.
Yeah. Immediately passes out. Excalibur remarks, all right, there's your captain. Get out of here now.
I have to say, it takes me by surprise how quickly Betsy made it back. Seemingly, I don't know if this is going to be complicated further, but I thought we were getting a lot more mileage out of the Betsy is gone arc.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. She shows up with the line "help," which leads me to believe this isn't quite as it appears, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is the end of our issue here, and while I do enjoy Excalibur, I think it is very fun, and I like the way it is drawn. This is probably one of the weakest issues for me, just in terms of plot and story. There's a
It's
lot
fine. I
of
think
there's just so much stuff here that is like clearly written just to move the plot along, and I don't know. It doesn't work for me.
the thing for me is the contrast between the fighting scenes in Wolverine versus this is like stark
Yes.
to
Yes.
me. Like the team against the Coven goons is just not fun to look at. IMO.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's
Like
something
Richter
about
gets entrapped in the like yellow thingies, and that's about it.
yeah.
The rest is them like standing off. Richter does some things. It's just not as fun.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I wouldn't even say the art is like not good. Like I think the art's good, but like there is something about it. I think it might be some of that just good old fashioned Excalibur pacing, where
Yeah.
the fight scenes don't quite hit as hard. I think the little spy stuff works a bit better, but the little group fight here with the wizards just it doesn't. It's not it. It's not hitting.
There's a lot of talking around. I don't really like Pete.
Oh, not a Pete Wisdom fan.
No.
Yeah, that's fair.
People in Excalibur do have this tendency to talk around each other instead of directly at each other. Betsy is very much guilty of that, especially when it comes to Brian. So I think it's just a writing thing.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah, we'll see, and hopefully also get answers as to how Betsy even got into Queen Elizabeth III's body. We still don't even know how that happened. I'm not even sure if Saturnine knows how that happened, considering that was really the kickoff point of how she might have gotten there. So, we'll see.
and we will get all of those answers and more not next week. We're not going back to Excalibur next week. We got X Factor number 6, or next episode, I mean. X Factor number 6, Cable number 8, and we're starting a brand new series, Children of the Atom number 1.
Ooh.
Woo!
Hope that's good.
Actually, very excited to get back to Children of the Atom. Sorry, go ahead.
What do you think Children of the Atom is about, Sergio?
It is a video game.
Okay,
We've
you know what?
showcased many of its songs in our openings.
That's fair. Okay.
This
Sure.
is a good point, and it is a video game. One of the video games, one might say.
It's one of the better. I feel like every time I get the chance to use a Children of the Atom track on this, it's one of the my favorites.
I've heard
A very solid soundtrack.
I've heard the Apocalypse game is a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah. I think for the most part, most of the songs that we've used, which come from a variety of video games, are pretty good.
Yeah. Chris, how was that video game X-Men thing going?
I was just thinking about that. I don't know. I can't remember if I actually talked about it on here or not. But I started a little Substack project, and it's to play through every single X-Men video game that has ever been released. I got through the first 3, and now I'm on X-Men the Arcade game by Konami. I've been there for a little bit just because I've been doing other stuff, but this discussion has reminded me I really should get back to that because I do really want to play that game, so I think I'm going to do that after we're done recording.
All right. Yeah. I think that X-Men arcade game is one of the ones that people are pretty high on.
Yes, and that's what I've heard too. If somebody talks about either arcade games or X-Men games, that's usually one of the top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another stellar soundtrack.
Yes. No, it's hard to beat that era's soundtracks too, just for arcade games in general. But the X-Men arcade game, I've heard a good amount of them. They're so good. They really nailed it.
All right. And I think that will be the episode. Do we have anything we want to plug?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Oh, no, actually, never mind. We're not going to plug anything. We did not explain to you what this podcast is about, so therefore we are not going to explain where you could find us either. You're just going to have to do that on your own, kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, but if you are listening to us on iTunes, or if you're not listening to us on iTunes, you should rate us 5 stars, because that helps us kind of get out there and, just have more people visit Krakoa. It's cozy here.
Yeah, it's a cozy place. It's a cool place. All the homies want to be at Krakoa. Therefore, you should tell them about it.
Yeah. I'm guessing if you're listening to this podcast, you're the type of person who hears someone say this, because I do this, and they hear someone say, you should rate us 5 stars, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's for the other people. That's not for me. But no, I'm talking to you, Steve. You need to give us 5 stars here.
I do hope there's somebody named Steve listening to this right now and is shocked. Absolutely shocked. And then goes and leaves a 5-star review.
Yeah. Also, if you want to say some nice things about us, that would be nice too. Not 4 stars, 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. Nothing less. Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
I beg you.
But yeah, I think that'll be our episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, maybe just thinking about it, if you do want to send us a question of some kind, or you have a question for us, or maybe just a nice little comment, you can send it to studyofx@gmail.com, and we will, in fact, make Tim read it. He has to. It is in the contract.
Yep, it's in the contract. You should write in. Yeah.
And, I guess I'm still doing the plugs anyway, because that's just how the podcasting things work. If you do want to follow this podcast on social media, you can find it at Study of X on Twitter. You can find it on Tumblr, and it is also on Blue Sky, but Blue Sky still does not have scheduling posts, and that's kind of a pain, and therefore that account is not very active, but it will be once that goes live, I promise. And if you are looking to follow us individually on social media, you can find me at Sawneeks, that is SAWNEEKS, on Blue Sky, where I am most definitely, by the time this episode comes out, will have posted something about X-Men the arcade game. I'm giving myself a deadline. I'm not going to tell you how long that deadline is, because I'm not going to tell you the day that we're recording this.
Genius.
Aha, see, that's how it works.
That's how time works.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of time, Sergio, if people want to travel into the past and could have told you something at the start of this episode that you would not have known, how can they find you and tell you about that?
I'm still trying to parse what you just said.
That's okay. I am too, and I'm the one who said it.
Yeah, I've been temporarily and spatially displaced, so I'm currently actually another version of myself.
And that's actually pretty cool. That sounds pretty cool.
What reality are you from?
6.
Okay.
What's different about 6?
We call number 6 5, actually.
Oh, that's... So, is it just like reversed, or...?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the only difference.
You'd not appreciate the impact such a change has unless you were there.
Understandable. And, Tim, if they would like to help you hold the funeral for your microphone, where can they find you?
I'm currently in a mansion in Houston, just burning my belongings.
Okay, a Viking funeral. Very good choice for a microphone, I agree.
Yeah.
So while you're there, you should probably grab some things from the MCU and sell them on eBay. I'm sure they're worth a lot of money.
What the hell? Let it burn.
Okay.
And nobody's gonna understand this microphone bit, by the way. I hope you know that.
Yes, no, absolutely. That's why I did it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that'll be the episode.
It's certainly an episode of all time.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Until next time. Later, mutants.
Bye.
Bye.